like we did before, I'll count to 3. You lot go wild. We'll get him on. So Liverpool on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Start the clapping. Let's go, please welcome Chris Forbes.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely to be here. Lovely to be here in Liverpool. For me, very exciting. As you can tell from my accent, you know, I'm an Aquarius, so we're not not famous for travel, are we? We're never trepidatious by nature. No, I'm a Scottish man. A real-life Scottish man, you know. And a big fan of exposed brick, so this is a real boon for me, this gig here. You know, and I'm loving the tinfoil. I feel at home because I stay in Glasgow, and I like a venue with a heroin addiction, so it's good. Settling in here. Settling in nice and easy. It's good. And sometimes I worry, you know, as a Scottish man, that any time you cross over the border into England, you know, that people might, you know, just hate you. Sometimes people think that you're a bitter, spiteful Scotsman, you know, that truly hates the old enemy, the Sassenach bastards. But you don't have to worry because I'm not a bitter, spiteful Scotsman, not at all. No, I'm a big fan of this government outreach programme they had where they wanted the Scots and English to get together as couples. Did you read about that? They wanted us to get together as couples, you know, and have babies together, you know, because that's where Welsh people come from. So that's just... just biology. My wife's English and we have one of these mutants and it's great. We throw rugby balls for it. And so it's just a bit of fun there. So, but no, I'm a Scottish man. But I'm not even Scottish. I'm uber Scottish. I'm from way up at like 2 hours past Inverness, which is usually the most northerly part people have heard of. But I'm like beyond the wall, up in the wildlands, a wee place called Pullew. It sounds like I've just made up a noise. But it does exist, but there's only about 124 people there, and 50 of them, they're sheep, but they're very good. They're good people. They're very good people. But growing up in such a small place, it's still exciting for me coming to big cities, really, honestly. And my gran, she's in Pullew, my goodness. Growing up there, I loved it. But the only thing that was weird was being jealous of others that came from big towns and cities that would pass through, and we'd see them. We'd see them with things that we could only dream of, you know. It sounds pathetic, but we would see tourists coming up, you know, outsiders. The earliest thing I can remember being jealous of was nodding head dogs that people had in the back window of their cars, you know. Because we'd seen them in the adverts, on the television, you know. But they didn't sell them in the Pullew shop, okay? There wasn't a big demand. And that was hard for us, me, my brother and my sister. We wanted one, you know, and we just had to get my gran to sit in the back. She had Parkinson's, so that was as close, you know. Not out of meanness. She suggested it, you know. She wanted to do it because she could see how we were suffering, you know. So you just make do in a wee place, is what I'm saying. That's just so. It's just a wee joke, so it's okay. She's dead. I know that's worse actually because she doesn't move at all when you put her in the back. You know, come on, Gran, you know. I don't know, but it is funny. But no, I do have an English wife, which has never been an issue. Of course not. Why would it be? But coming from so far up north, or any small provincial area of any country, you'll find that people from up there, they're very patriotic. Okay, they're very healing. They're very stoic, very proud. So they're just a wee bit more. What's the right word? Racist. So, as stupid as it sounds, I was nervous telling my family that I was going out with an English woman. That sounds ridiculous, I know, but my gran was the first person we told. I thought she's a gentle soul. She'll go easy on me, okay? And I didn't want to startle her because she's old, so I didn't want to say England or English too early. So what I said to her was, I'm seeing a girl from down south, Gran. Seeing a girl from down south. And I swear to God, she said, I hope you don't mean Glasgow. So I just confused her more and said, no, a bit further there, just north of Spain, you know, and her mind's gone. She's old. She doesn't know geography, so that was okay. But my wife is English, and that's absolutely fine, so I don't know why you're going on about it. But what I will say is this. She does have an accent that can make people hate her. Okay? And that's a real shame. Because you can't help where you're from or what you sound like. But for the first 14 years of her life, she grew up in Cambridge. Okay? Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. So you already know she just, she sounds, like a wank. And I love her. I love her. I do love her. But she does sound like a prick. And that's something I have to struggle with internally. And she sounds super posh. Yeah, that's of course what it is. She sounds super, super posh, which is odd. And it stands out a lot in Glasgow, I must say. And she's very self-conscious about how she sounds when she talks up there. And truth be told, I'm very self-conscious about when she talks. People jump to assumptions, they think we have money, and it's very disconcerting. But what's strange is she sounds super posh 98% of the time, okay? What's going on with that other 2%, Chris? I'll tell you. After 14 years of living in Cambridge, she moved to your very fine city of Liverpool. 5 years, okay? That's where her parents are originally from. So 5 years living in Liverpool in her teenage years, and she's self-conscious already about her posh accent, so she's trying to fit in here, so she's got a wee bit of scouse, she's got a wee bit of Liverpudlian inside of her, and it's been retained, but it only comes out of her mouth first thing in the morning. I don't know why. We've tried to figure it out. Is she groggy in the morning? She hasn't warmed up to being posh? I don't know what it is. And it sounds like just a fun personality quirk, but it's not, okay? It's quite haunting for me. Because I have to deal with the transition from last thing at night to first thing in the morning. And that's two very different things. We go to bed in the evening. She's adorable. I love her. Oh my God. Good night. Good night, Chris. I love you and I love hummus. Good night. Good night. I know, I shouldn't have let her name the kids, but there you go. Good night. She wakes up in the morning, Jesus Christ, fucking hell, at the time. And that's it ruins the fantasy for me, okay? I hope that's not offensive, but it ruins the fantasy for me that when we go to bed together, I'm actually going to bed with Kate Middleton, okay? Then I wake up with Jamie Carragher, and I don't like that, okay? I'm sorry. It's funny. She doesn't look like Kate Middleton either. In case that's what you're picturing her now, but that's the kind of vibe she gives off. And I'm not a big royalist or anti-royalist. I'm just one of those straight down the middle, couldn't give a fuck either way royalists. Okay, each to their own. I don't care. Oh dear, the Queen, and nothing but respect. Only fond memories for me. Only fond memories. Oh my God, many a coin toss. I won. I called heads, and there was wee Lizzie smiling up at me. Just good memories. I don't care where you stand on that, okay? But my wife, as a proud English woman, sometimes she does stick up for the royal family in general, especially up in Scotland, And she only ever really sticks up for them in one aspect, and then I always have the same rebuttal for her, okay? Like, she always says this, she goes, do you know what? The royal family gets such a hard time up in Scotland here, and I wish you knew her, by the way, because this is bang on, okay? She said to that. They get such a hard time, don't they? And people complain about the money. And I know Buckingham Palace is worth £1.8 billion, but it's worth every penny because of all the money that it actually brings into the economy through tourism. Yes, so many tourists come to this country just to see the royal family and Buckingham Palace, the pomp and the ceremony and the merchandise. It's worth every penny. Okay? Fair play. I always say the same thing. I'm not trying to pick a fight. It's just what I tell her. This is a fact. We get just as many tourists up in Scotland every single year as England does, right? And a lot of those tourists come over to our country to go and see a place called Loch Ness, right? So we get just as many tourists coming to our country, putting their money into our economy, and they're going to go and see something that doesn't even fucking exist. And that costs fuck all. It's amazing. So I always tell her, that's worth every fucking penny, I say, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm actually trying to help. I'm trying to help the whole country. I want her to get together with some more English people, start a little committee. I know that's a good kind of thing. And just literally agree on any body of water in your whole country. And just tell tourists, oh my God, there's actually a beast in there. Prince Andrew. It's easy. Oh my God. So easy. So easy. I don't know. Too easy. Maybe that's too scary. I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't sweat, but, you know, he's got gills. He's fucking... It's a freak. So that's us. We're here now, and we live very happily in Glasgow. Lovely place. Of course, lockdown happened. That was big news, and people got up to all sorts of stuff there, you know, and me and my good lady wife are no different. No different at all. We get right into making, not banana bread, but a baby. And very similar, very messy. And it's an amazing thing. A baby came along. We've got one of these lockdown babies. And oh my God. Don't know if you've got a baby out there. Oh, but if you've got a baby and you've looked down at the baby, something primal takes over. You know? Instinctual. Caveman-like. I see the baby, I just look at her and now I'm looking around and I know I could kill a man. She's mine, you know, and I'm confident I could kill a man. I could kill the man that told me that condoms were a 100% effective form of birth control. She will not sleep. No, I feel very protective. That's the thing. That's the truth. I feel very protective. And I don't even have to worry about it. That's the funniest thing. Oh my God. Her older sister's got it covered completely. And that's funny, because she's only 3. And she's pretty small, but she does have kind of like fiery red hair, and she's got a long tongue. I think that freaks people out, you know? It's weird. She's a cavapoo, but we always think of the dog as a first... It's just silly, I know, but the dog is like a first child. I swear to God, she became so protective. Started to bark all the time when the baby came. She never used to bark, and then she started to bark all the time. And at first we thought it was pretty cool, but then we started to worry that she was going to eat the baby. And it got to a point where we actually got an animal behaviourist to come and help us, right? It was like a Channel 5 documentary. It was amazing. And this woman tried to explain and help with the worst part of the barking, which is, and if you've got a dog, you'll be familiar with this, she likes being in the front room in the window and barking at every single person that goes past, okay? And we were finding it annoying until she explained it, and now I love it. Oh my God. She said actually the technical term for what she's doing is alert barking. Okay, she's barking at these people thinking she's alerting you to potential danger. And she doesn't stop barking until they're completely out of sight. And she said that's because in her little dog brain, the only reason every single person isn't coming in and killing the whole family, including the baby, is because she's barking at them until they're completely out of the vicinity. And I was like, holy shit. What a shift the dog's putting in, man. That's incredible. The commitment to do that. And she does it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you might think that sounds annoying, okay? You might think it sounds annoying, but I love it because now I get to hear the greatest noise in the world. I'd never known it before, and now I hear it all the time. I call up my mates and tell them to walk in front of the house just so I can hear this. Because when it happens, she always does loads and loads of big barks. Loads of them! Then right at the end, she does one little tiny bark. Just a wee bit of punctuation. Good. She sees someone, the postman. She starts off. It's so good. Such a cool noise. And the reason it's such a good noise is because I feel like I know what she's saying as well. Like I know that if she was shouting in English, I know she's really just going, hey, fuck off! Fuck off, keep walking! You better keep walking, there's somebody out here! Fucking move, I'll kill you! I'll fucking kill you! Yeah, keep walking! Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. So good. Dog. Full attitude, man. I don't know if you've got a dog or not out there, you know, but you've got to get one. The dogs are just the best thing in the world. They say a dog's a man's best friend, you know, and it's so true. It's just, none of my regular pals would lick my balls for a biscuit, you know, and it just sort of, I don't know. If it's a loyalty thing, I don't know. It's just silly. It's just been silly. You like biscuits? No, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I've been Chris Forbes. Cheers.
and gentlemen, Chris Forbes!